Okay, I don't know if anybody can hear me, but if anybody cares, I'm going to live stream this. Okay, so let's try and get this adjusted a little bit better. So this is the Monoprice Mini Select that I'm going to be unboxing right now. This is the second one I have because the first one didn't turn on. So this is the replacement, and we will see if it goes any better today. So I'll move this strap here. All right, let's open her up. Let's try and fix this camera a little bit, make this a little bit higher. There we go. There we go. So, and what do we have here? And I'm going to try and do all the assembly with just what's provided in the box. That may or may not be possible. We shall see. As usual, lots of good plastic wrap. Do all that. All right, and what do we have here? We have a nice big thing of styrofoam. All right. And, well, there is the y-axis and the build plate. As you can see, they have tested it by printing a nice little butterfly on here. In this box here, we have a nicely included USB cable, the power cable, bag of tools, a drill bit for cleaning out the nozzle if it gets jammed. SD card with probably information, build instructions. However, my system doesn't have an SD card reader, so I will be using the manual from online. This is a hook. And a nice scraper to get your prints off the print bed. And they give you this nice little gauge for leveling your Z-axis, since this does not have bed leveling. It's a very inexpensive printer, so I would not expect that. And these parts are the spool holder. This will just go in here, and the spool will hang off of here. That's that. Now let's get the Y-axis out. And as you can see, you've got your build plate. This is the front. It's got a nice little touchscreen. And everything is labeled. There's no soldering needed. You basically just plug it up and go. And so there's that. I'm going to set that aside momentarily. And so now we have another layer of styrofoam. Pull that out. Pull that out. And here we have, this is the Z, X, and Z axis. So, as you can see, this is the X-axis left and right here, and this is the Z-axis up and down. It's currently strapped. I will take care of that in a minute. But if it's the framing is all aluminum. There have been some reports about stability of that, but we'll see once I get it assembled. This is what it looks like from the back. You got your Z-axis motors down here, and you've got your bearings, and you've got your smooth rod and your Z-axis. And again, everything is labeled. Oh, there's a little pin bent right here. I'll have to fix that. Now, go ahead and set this aside as well. Finally, at the bottom here, I almost missed this the first time. We pull this whole thing out. And at the bottom, I have an extra, I'm assuming this is, I don't believe this is, I believe this is some kind of build tack surface. So, but they give you two of them here. And some PLA to test with. We'll be using that. And the actual assembly manual. So I did not see this the first time. I had to go online. So I will go ahead and follow the instructions here. And that is everything inside the box. All right, let's put all the other stuff back in. And I'm not going to throw anything out as of yet, because as I learned last time, it may not work. All right, pardon me while I move this out temporarily. Okay. Now, I've assembled one previously, so it's fairly straightforward. But I'm going to go ahead and go through the manual again just to make sure my previous assembly didn't screw anything up. So, in the box, we have a couple of zip ties. These are some, I believe these are some clips. Set of your basic metric Allen keys. And the main one we're going to be using is this one, which I believe is 2.5. No, actually I was wrong. We'll be using the big one, which is a 3. So there we go. Alright, I have unpacked. So I've done the unpacking, and now we are on to the assembly. Alright, so we want to, first thing it says to stand up the vertical piece and cut this tie. I'm going to go get me something to cut with. Why not use big tools when you're in a makerspace? All right, insert the printer base, which is this part right here, into the tower frame. So I'm going to have to take, there's a little lip on back. And it looks like the Z-axis, it's hard to see, but the Z-axis has dropped down a little bit. There's no way I will be able to slide this. I will have to, let's see here. Let's see if I can get it through without having to change the Z-axis, but there we go. I'm going to actually slide it from the front. It doesn't show which direction you have to do it in, but yeah, I'll have to slide it in from the front. The reason I can't slide it this way is there are wires coming out of either side here. So I'll have to bring it from the front and slide it in from the front rather than from the back. So. All right, let's slide this all the way to the back and bring it up from the front. So the idea is we're going to align these brackets right here with these two screw holes right here. There we go. Just a little. All right. And so I am going to need to raise the Z-axis because the head will bump into the bed plate. So that's really easy to do. I just hope to avoid it to make sure we get everything level. But I'm going to have to raise it up. Make sure there's plenty of clearance there. So now one thing to be sure, whenever you're dealing, especially with 3D printers, especially with anything that requires precise, very precision movement. So I'm going to have to make sure these screws can't be off just a little bit. They have to be dead on in order for it to not be wobbly or skewed or lose any of its strength. So if I feel any resistance of it screwing in and there's nothing obvious in the screw path, then I need to stop, adjust until it goes in with very little resistance. And this one is going to be a little tricky because, as you can see, I'm going to have to, there's going to be a lot of unwanted movement. So I could get a regular one of our ball-in hexes that we have here, but I'm determined to put this together using just what they provided. So I think I won't have as much issue on the other side, but we will see. What I could do is give me a little bit more turns. just going to put these rear ones on first, and then I'll try the front ones again in a second. Again, I'm having issues getting these started. I think when I get these started, that is half the problem. All right, I'm not going to tighten that down all the way, but I am going to see. Now I've got this one. If it, yeah, this one goes in a lot easier. Now we got one started. I should say maybe not. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and get a longer X key because I need something that I can push in and clear this piece right here. So using one of these. All right, so this. So much easier. All right, that side's on. Now let's get this side, and then we'll tighten everything down. All right, so. Now this one. Okay, and tighten these down now. So they say you can have it assembled in just a few minutes, but not using their tools. If I brought this out at the beginning, I would have been done in just a couple minutes. However, the big problem is this isn't long enough. They need to provide even just. I would be fine with getting rid of all these other Allen wrenches and just giving me one big one. But I do know they have to include it because they have these other pieces that may need adjusting. You have other size screws. So now I've assembled that, and what is next? So flip the printer onto its left side, Then insert a screw from inside the base and secure it to the frame using the hex wrench. So that's one of these cables out of the way. And flip it over on this side. So it appears that they want me to screw this in, but it's already there. Interesting. I'll have to go see if there's an updated manual online to see if that has changed. All right, well, that is there. So now right now it says to check that the Z-axis is level. Pardon me. And I've got to level out my car. I will be right back. Okay, one cheap level. Let's see if this table is level. And it says it is. Let's see if it stays put over here. Level there. Level there. Well, what do you know? And level. All right. So put this over here. Okay, z-axis is level. Okay, now we are going to put on the spool holder. So basically just take the locking nut out. All right, make sure that that's fairly level. Although I won't be using this immediately. I may wind up taking it off altogether, but for the sake of completeness, I will go ahead and put it on here. And no, this is not a carry handle. So since we want the spool roughly centered, make sure that it's going to point that direction. And now insert the provided screws. And one more here. All right, now okay, it says the cable assembly on the left side of the base has 3 cables coiled and secured with a zip tie. And they have 3 cables, but none of them are tied with a zip tie. Ah, yes, they are. But it is not coiled. And I do not believe this zip tie needs to be removed. That is for cable management, so I will not. And now we just match. And now we just match letters to letters. These are keyed, so there's only one way they'll go in. So there's, I won't say there's nothing completely stupid proof, but this is pretty close. There we go. A, B goes to B. So this is bent a little bit, yeah. That's the bent one, so let's bend that back down a little bit. I will come back to that. I'll put, that one went right on. So what is wrong with this one? I believe this one may have gotten, yeah, it's a little bit wonky. Nothing good pair of needle nose can't. So basically this corner has been bent down. And this wire is out a little bit. All right, now let's see what that gives us. There we go. Come on. Okay, so it looks like one of these pins is bent way up. So I'm going to have to do some magic here. Okay. Can I get this in here? I don't think so. Okay, let me. Now I'm not cutting this, I am just trying to get this thin piece of metal in between the bent pin. And let's see. I need to get. All right, so I have to bring out the. I have to bring the eyes out. Okay, let's see if that fixes it. And finally, and that feels seated good. I don't feel the pins bent. They're all nice and lined up. Okay. And finally, we connect a D to D. There we go. Now, so I don't blind everybody, put my A, B, C, and D are all connected. Let's put this puppy back upright. Now it says to compress the spring on each corner and set the distance to the minimum. All right. We'll play in that. Plus, I need to put it on, but the first thing I need to do is go ahead and take off the butterfly. Okay, so now we get to the point where it failed for me last time. We're going to plug it in. So switch. Switch is off. Pardon for the shaking. I don't have a really secure camera mount right now. Now comes the fun part. And we have power. I did not have this last time. And this is a touchscreen. So okay, so now let's select tools and move. It says home all, but there is no home all button. Okay, so aha. We have another cable. Cable E. The instruction, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. The instructions do not have us turning this on. But the instructions do not have this plugged in. So let's go ahead and plug this in. All right, now that's plugged in. Let's go ahead and turn it back on. Tools. Move. Now let's okay, now I'm going to turn it off. Yeah. Now we can go ahead and move this. Okay. That's hit the axis. So So now it should be the nozzle should be just touching the paper. Feel a little bit of resistance. If I move the head, it shouldn't really. I'm gonna check it at 4 different points. That feels right about good right up there. I'm gonna go ahead and bring it down here. However, so I'm wondering if these actually aren't ready. Oh no, there is. I'm not sure what happened. How did that is? Ah, so the C motor came out. Let's try this again. So the Z-axis for some reason came out of level really bad. I don't know what happened, but the C motor was off. So I believe there may have been some, it may have come loose at some point. We're going to try this again. all four corners are tightened down. So we're going to flip it on. All right, it has now been an hour since I started this. Homing X, homing Y, and homing Z. Okay, that looks better. Let's go ahead and turn it off. And we start this loading process all over again. I'm going to bring it forward just a little bit. Get more toward the center, because I just tend to print more in the center anyway. Okay, so see, that's probably grabbed it a little too much. Yeah, it's moving it. So I need to pull it down just a little bit. Alright, now we go over here. Okay. Now doing the back side. And now the other back side. Now, once you've done all four corners, you got to go back and fix the one, because adjusting one corner does affect all the. this one. All right, I think that's about good. So now I bet it's going to tell me what I do. We are going to extrude some plastic. Here is the test roll. A lovely blue color. And where is my here? So now it says we are going to. I'm going to insert the SD card into the SD card reader on the side. Home all is under system in this new firmware. And it's got a PID tuner. Okay, tool, preheat. We're going to preheat for PLA. And it has PLA at 185 and bed at 50. I really don't like that. I like running my PLA at about 200 to 210, depending on the brand. So we will fix that. Oh, also need to raise the x-axis. Okay, so the bed is up to heat, which is really quick. PLA is almost there. And I'm going to see if it will let me. And I accidentally hit level. Okay, and let's get out of that. All right, so I'm going to load the filament. And I will definitely be getting my spool of filament here in a minute. If anybody knows, I have a few rolls of filament here and there. So what you got to do is Oh, this is extremely coiled, so. So you push this in, you pull this down, and there we go. Moving this lever up and down there, and it goes on through, and push it on through. And we have melted plastic coming out of the bottom, which is really good. It says click until a filament comes out the nozzle. And the extruder is moving. And plastic is coming out of the nozzle. Yay. Smell that PLA. I'm going to go back, back. Now I'm going to attempt to see if I can print one of the preloaded models on here. I'm going to move this camera, so bear with me just a moment. One of the first things I'm going to print on my own is a mount for this camera. Okay, so now we're going to go print. So I selected 3 because it just said G code, G code, G code, G code. So we will see what this is. I have no idea. So it doesn't have the fan. This code doesn't have fan. That's interesting. We'll see what happens. There we go. We hit temperature. Now we'll see if my leveling is okay. So it's printing, looks like it's printing a wrap of some kind. I hope either that or my leveling is way off. I doubt that though. Okay, doing a quick Google search, it looks like I am printing a swan, Odile swan. So apparently 3.G code is a swan. Of course, I'd love to know what was sliced at, but so far the print is looking stellar. And it is printed on a raft, but the raft appears to come off fairly easily. Off my butterfly. So there we go, it just pops right off. And that is actually not a bad little raft. I'd love to know what the slicer settings are. I'll probably pop the STLs into my G-code viewer, or pop the G-code into one of my STLs, and pop the G-code into one of my G-code viewers and see if I can tell. Because it'd be interesting, because this is a really nice, just real quick. And the raft came off pretty much in one piece. Hey, now we're printing some infill. So there's no telling how long this is going to take. So I'm thinking the most likely thing I will do initially is upgrade the fan shroud. And then, since I've got a few extra E3D hot end pieces, we'll see what I need to do to move to an E3D hot end, maybe even a Titan extruder. Again, because I have some of the parts lying around. So far, I like this. I will get this home and put it up next to the preset, and we'll see what we get. Okay, we are now approaching 1.5 hours, and I guess that's not too terrible. I'm gonna switch off for a little bit and let the print finish and see where things stand. I have to reserve my battery a little bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream now. Uh, Thank you for anyone who showed up, and look for this later on my YouTube channel. Clear 42, CRITTER, the number 4, the number 2.